Hello YouTube, welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Kevin and this is the Red Pill channel. So I just want to address a lot of the drama that's been going on in regards to the Israel topic. More first I want to speak about how really it's really gotten a lot more intense the last 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks or a little bit more than that now. So by next week it'll be a month since Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And since then, you can tell I want to call them bots because there's a lot of bots on social media, and the pro and anti-Israel bots have come on full force, and I believe they're both trying to use his death to try to advance their bias. And since Charlie Kirk is not here anymore, they both can try to grift off of it to try to psyop us to think, oh, what Charlie would think right now. And let's face it, his views on Israel as of now is irrelevant. He's with the Lord, he's saved, and it's not his problem anymore. Now, there are videos of the different segments of his opinions on the whole conflict. I do know he was always very pro-Israel. He loved the Jewish people, and he believed that the Jews had have a right to their land, that the land that's been was given back to them. So he believed that. So, but he was definitely becoming less of a shill though too, as well. Like he wasn't like shilling for them anymore, because he definitely did have some issues with the Netanyahu government, and the fact that he did feel that we were kind of being dragged into wars more on Israel's behalf. So I guess if I'm sharing a little bit of facts of things Kirk has expressed in the past, there are concerns he had also with that. But like I said, what he thinks is irrelevant now, okay? And we should not be using his death to be... No one should. No one should. And I say we, not singling nobody out, but we as all of us need to be careful with that. Now, there has been some good news with this. It has seemed that Trump has officially got a deal with both Israel and Hamas to end the war. And Israel and Hamas to end the war. And, well, Charlie would be so proud. He wanted this war to end as all of us want this war to end. Any normie wants this war to end. It's gone on way too long, and more people are dying because of it. So, yes. So, yes, like I said, my next video, I do plan to lay out the details of what the end of the war and what the deal was made about, and the facts about what we are to expect going forward. And I think both parties should be really happy with what has been. So I think if you're not, then maybe you're just a warmonger. I don't know. There's a lot of people who really don't want peace. They just want to grift, and you can tell. You have to, if you're online, you got to watch for those people, because you gotta be careful with those people. So, with that being said, a concern that I have with all this Israel talk is we are making Israel, and I'm kind of guilty of this myself, how many posts you might post on Facebook about it and whatever. Every time we post something about Israel, especially this often, when you're not talking about anything else, you start to make Israel the number one issue. And for someone who is very America first like me, we should not be making a foreign country our number one issue. And I think if we're at a point where you are allowing your pro or anti-Israel decision be the main issue heading into 2026 midterms elections and 2028, then it sounds like to me you lost the plot, and whoever's trying to get us off focus of the real enemy seems to have succeeded, and we can't let that happen. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. So we cannot allow Israel to be the biggest issue, and I do think that's not, again, not America first, and it could have big consequences because the left, not the left, but also the media. I think it's the establishment. As bad as the left is, and we have a lot of rhinos too that don't care about America either. So we have a lot of that problem in our own party, in the Republican Party as well, where they both want to divide. However, I do believe there's two things we need to do. The Republican Party needs a whole clean out the closet and actually getting good, real MAGA candidates, not the fake ones that grift off of it, but actually believe it. And we need to go back to focusing on the left. Yeah, I have my issues with AIPAC. I do think they're toxic, but we also have to realize, don't forget, we have George Soros or his son, whatever. We have the Soros influence still. We have all these other terrible lobbyist groups that do terrible things too. And we have other foreign lobbies as well than just Israel. So, I mean, I guess we have to be careful not to just single Israel out. But we do need to also keep Israel consistent with everybody else. We have to hold everybody to the same standard. Like I said, I was just talking to a friend about this the other day, and they were mentioning about how should every time we post something about Israel, you don't know the impact you might be having on it, because every time you post something about Israel, it causes someone else to focus on Israel, distracted by Israel, rather than focusing on the real enemy, and that's the left right now. There's a lot of conspiracies. Everybody wants this death on Charlie Kirk to be out of Israel, but it's like, have we suddenly forgotten that we actually have a radical left violence in this country? Really? What happened? We have radical violent left. I mean, we literally had a lot of people there were people that were happy that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Yeah. I think I read somewhere that 25% of people who identify as liberal thinks it's somewhat justified to assassinate or kill someone of an opposition that you disagree with. I mean, that's about almost a quarter. It was like 22 or 25. And that's, again, still about a quarter. That is alarming, people. That is really alarming. There's a lot of conspiracies. Everyone loves conspiracies now. I mean, conspiracies are popular. I mean, I kind of enjoy them sometimes, but I mean, we can't get so into conspiracy that we forget reality, because I do think it's a psyop as well, because they also want us to ignore the obvious, and that's to ignore we have a violence problem of young people. Now, there's a lot of young people who are moving right, and I think it's expected that way, but we have a long way to go. Because I think what you're seeing right now is with Gen Z is they're either really far right or really far left. Like there's not really too many centrist ones anymore. They're kind of picking their side, and that's we don't. I mean, obviously, I don't want them to be Groyper right either, but we also don't want them to be progressive left. We want them to be more on the right in a Christian standard. The Christian, what Charlie Kirk's legacy is what we need, and that's what I believe Gen Z is coming to now. We're seeing record numbers of them attending church in higher numbers. God's doing great things with this, and so we need to focus on American issues again. All these people, Tucker Carlson, I love you as a big supporter of yours, and I do defend you a lot in regards to when you're getting attacked, but start focusing on domestic issues again. Less about Israel. Okay, we know your position on Israel. You're really anti-war. I am too. I have a lot of opinions about certain things, but let's focus on domestic issues again, and let's focus on the left, because that's the more immediate problem right now. Now, I don't know what's going to happen in the future in regards to Israel. I don't know what's going to happen in any country right now. We have a lot of enemies right now. I don't know. But that's all I have in regards to that. I do plan eventually making a video about ways we can maybe strengthen our relationship with Israel again. I think that should be one that I feel shouldn't cause any controversy, but that'll be for another day. But like I said, this video is not really about Israel. This is about, we need to get our focus back in regards to what is important. We need to have dialogue. We need to be able to have conversations. And you can tell it's a sensitive topic because people get mad. People get kind of heated on this conversation, and maybe in a way it needs to be talked about more, but we need to also talk about domestic issues. All I see on TV and on media right now is about Israel, Israel, Israel. That's not healthy, and it is a distraction. I think it's on purpose. It is on purpose. They want us to ignore what's happening here to distract us from the fact that we have radical violence from the left. And we still have the Soros influencers. They're also causing more damage. And I still believe they are more dangerous than what you might think AIPAC is. Okay, I don't like AIPAC, but I think I do agree to think that as of now, to think that AIPAC is suddenly the biggest threat, I think it's that you're being psyoped. I have to be careful too. We all have to be careful, but it's hard. Especially, I'm as guilty as this is anybody. So anyway, but yeah, we have to get our priorities in straight again, and I'm just drained of seeing everything headline being about Israel. So like I said, I will be making some more videos about the Gaza, the Israel-Hamas deal that was made. So I'll be laying some of the facts about that. And then I'll do the one about how can Israel's relationship be strengthened. I also want to do another video about foreign interference, and it's going to be about everybody. Do we have a foreign interference? Is it a problem? Should we be concerned about foreign influencing public opinion in our country? That's any country. That's any country. So I do plan to talk a little about that. But anyway, but yeah. So my last thing is, those who are trying to use Charlie Kirk's death to promote you guys, it upsets me. Because it tells me you don't care about Charlie Kirk. You just want to advance an agenda. And clearly you're being paid. Obviously, you're following the money instead of picking, you're humbling yourself or being with integrity. You rather have, people couldn't even wait till morn before they start interjecting what they think. It just, like I said, it's sometimes a good conspiracy is interesting, but what you're seeing online is just, some of the stuff I'm seeing is just disrespectful, and it's just, I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe in 20 years, it's possible. A lot of the stuff we say it's wrong now, but I think we also need to go by evidence. And like I said, I still think right now the immediate threat is the left, and right now that needs to be the major focus right now. So anyway, that's all I have to say today. Right now, if you have liked this video, please like. If you have anything to comment on, anything that you might want to express, if I'm right or wrong, please, I love to hear your thoughts. And if you like this channel, please subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. The Red Pill channel out.